They were gouging our kids with college loans, and he'll continue to fight for college affordability for all Marylanders. And the thing that I love best about him is this: his backbone, his spine. He has the ability to stand up in the tough fights. That's what he's done time and time again for gun safety against the NRA, and he will do it every time. So look, it's all about the future, right? It's about giving our kids the skills they need to succeed, about making our air cleaner, fighting climate change, saving the Bay. No one in Maryland has done a better and more consistent job of that in every trust that we have given him. And now it's up to us to do everything in our power to make Chris Van Hollen the next United States Senator, from and for Maryland. Let me turn it back over to Yvette Lewis. Yvette?
No, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. So now, let's bring up our county executive, Ike Leggett.
Catherine?
I hope all of you have heard the term yank and pull. Let me tell you what that means. That means yank them out of their homes, out of their apartments, and pull them to the polls. We didn't come this far to lose. This is too important. But not only for all of us in this region, but for our nation as a whole. We have the opportunity to elect one of the finest public servants in the entire country. I agree with President Obama, who said, Chris is one of the most effective persons in Congress, one of the most effective. And we can make certain that he is elected. But here's the challenge for us. Everybody throughout this state are not aware of his tremendous record. Everybody around this state do not know the kind of punch and charge that he has about the issues that are so important to us. It is for us to remind people of that record. It is for us to get people out to vote. We didn't come this far, have this wonderful opportunity that rarely comes around, for us not to seize this moment in history. This moment in history is for us to say loud and clear across this great state that we have the fortitude, the intelligence, and the selective power to elect one of the best public servants in all of the United States, Chris Van Hollen. Are we going to do it? Are we going to yank them? Are we going to pull them? All right. God bless you all.
You know what's so wonderful about our state? I mean, we just have the best leaders ever. So I just said, welcome our county executive. Let's do it again. Let's welcome our other county executive, Bruce Sharon Baker.
Thank you, Joy. Thanks, Yvette. Is everybody excited? We're going to make sure Chris is the next senator, right? We're going to get the votes out. What did I say? Yank and pull? So we got the working clothes on. You know, we're ready to go out there. I told, I was talking to my daughter just before coming here. She's in New York, so she's voting absentee. Yes. And she said, Daddy, I'm going to ask you for advice. I said, well, this is a change. If you have a 21-year-old daughter, you know they don't ask you for no advice. They ask you for money. She said, well, there's some of these folks I don't know. Can you give me some advice on it? I said, well, honey, I can tell you about them, but it's your choice. I said, only one that is not your choice. Your mama and I want to make sure that you do something to protect us. Because we're going to grow old in the state of Maryland. We ain't leaving our house in Sheffield. We're going to live there. So you need to do this for your mother and me. And that is, we need to make sure that we have a senator that's going to provide quality education for all children of Prince George's County and the state of Maryland. We need to make sure that we have a senator that's going to look out for health care for all of Maryland. We need to make sure we get somebody who's going to fight when nobody's looking, who's going to deliver, who's going to do what he says he's going to do. So, honey, you ain't got no other choice. You better vote for Chris Van Hollen. She said, Daddy, that was the easy one. I was going to vote for him anyway. And I said, you are your mother's child. This is an important election. We need your work. We need your support. We need you to call everybody. We need you to get out there and work hard. This is for the future. God bless you. Chris Van Hollen, our next senator.
So, I've got this beautiful lady standing here beside me. How many of you have seen this commercial with this beautiful lady standing here beside me? Have you seen it? I mean, there is no other closer in the world than my friend, Senator Joanne Benson.
Hello, Lottie Dottie and everybody. Give me a C. Give me an H. Give me an R. Give me an I. Give me an S. What does that spell? Chris who? Chris who? Name sounds familiar. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, please. I am the voice that you hear on the radio. I am the cute face that you see on television. And I don't support anybody without checking their record. So that record is important. I had the wonderful pleasure of serving in the House of Delegates with Chris Van Hollen. Chris Van Hollen was probably the most principled legislator in Annapolis. He said what he meant, and he meant what he said. Didn't have to second guess Chris Van Hollen.
Yeah.
If he told you something, you could take it to the bank. That's the kind of person we're going to support, and that's going to be our next senator from the great state of Maryland. Let me take it a step further. He helped to craft the Thornton Commission report. Took an active lead in deciding where that money should go. Montgomery County is doing well. But he said, listen, oh, please listen. A rising tide lifts all ships. Yeah. Let's give this money to Prince George's County where there is a need. That is why the county executive and I, Gloria Lawler, and many of the elected officials from Prince George's County are supporting Chris Van Hollen. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, he's been a friend to the president. He didn't wibble and wobble and carry on, scratch his head, talk to the conservative Republicans. He did the right thing. And so I'm here this evening, traveling up 495 and all the traffic, to say to you all, we have been working long and hard in Prince George's County. We do not need anybody who does not have a record. Check the record. Check the record, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't need anybody on the hill who does not tell the truth. It is outrageous for anybody to say that Chris Van Hollen is in bed with NRA. He was down at Annapolis kicking their tail. He went on Capitol Hill and kicked their tail. I mean, I can remember a time when I done said more than tail. You know? But I want you to know that Chris Van Hollen has my unwavering support, but he has the support of his family, his beautiful wife and his beautiful children. When you have your family behind you, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
So I want to thank all of you all, Lottie, Dottie, and everybody for being out here this afternoon, because you're not making a mistake. We don't have time for any foolishness on Capitol Hill. We need all the help we can on Capitol Hill. Somebody with good sense. And Chris Van Hollen has good sense.
Yeah.
Chris Van Hollen has been able to stop a lot of that foolishness up on that hill because he's able to get along with both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
He knows how to win friends and influence people. You know, I could go on and on and on talking about Chris Van Hollen. Yes, I am a preacher's child. And glad about it. As a matter of fact, I feel like shouting if you all don't mind. It is my pleasure. I am delighted. One other thing. Before I became a member of the House of Delegates, where I served for 20 years, I was an educator. There's nothing more important to me than the children, not only in Prince George's County, but in the state of Maryland. Chris Van Hollen has a track record for ensuring that our children are able to rise and shine to be the best that they can be. And I just tell you all, I can tick off all the wonderful things that this wonderful giant has done for the state of Maryland. Bright, articulate, focused, serious about the state of Maryland. Not just Montgomery County, but the state of Maryland. So it truly is my pleasure. I am delighted. I'm excited. I'm overjoyed. I'm sure you all don't see that. To bring up to this microphone a person who's going to do an exemplary job on Capitol Hill. Not only that, but Chris Van Hollen is not a bad-looking guy. So we are just so happy to bring up to the microphone wonderful, our next senator from the state of Maryland, Chris Van Hollen.
God bless Joanne Benson. I always say, long before the last Star Wars movie came out, that when Joanne Benson is with you, the Force is with you. And I have to say, there's only one other person in the state of Maryland that I say that about, and that's our current Senator, Barbara Mikulski. And all my colleagues here, and all of you know, that Senator Mikulski has been a great fighter on important national issues, and we love her for it, and I've been proud to stand with her on those fights. But she also never forgets the people of the state of Maryland and delivering results in our neighborhoods and communities all over this great state. And with your help, we're going to carry on that Mikulski tradition. Now there's another person here who also has been fighting statewide for many years to make sure that we translate our progressive values and priorities here in the state of Maryland into real results. Someone who fought hard to make sure that college kids and students saw no tuition increase for the period of time that he was governor. Somebody who fought to pass the DREAM Act, somebody who fought to pass marriage equality. Thank you, Governor Martin O'Malley. Somebody who knew how to take our progressive values and get stuff done right here in the state of Maryland. And right next door in Prince George's County, we have a county executive who every day is focused on delivering results, working with the state senators and the state delegates and with the county council to deliver real results that make a difference in people's lives in Prince George's County. I was proud to work with him and Senator Benson and others on education equality during our time in the state legislature. And as a member of Congress, it's been a privilege to work with him to make sure that we invest in the kids in Prince George's County, public safety, infrastructure. Thank you, Mr. County Executive Sherman Baker. And yes, we're all going to work hard to make sure the FBI goes to Prince George's County. We need leadership to do that. And right here at home, here in Montgomery County, we have somebody who during tough economic times and good economic times never forgot that we were one community, a great, diverse community here in Montgomery County. People from all over the world who have come here, which has made our community stronger. And we have a county executive who never tried to divide, who never tried to pit one person against another, always called for unity, to call for a more perfect union here in Montgomery County. Ike Leggett, thank you for your leadership. And to First Lady Catherine Leggett, thank you for all you do on so many issues. And to the former chair of the Maryland Democratic Party, who worked so hard alongside Governor Martin O'Malley and all of us and all of you here to make sure that here in Maryland, the Democratic Party is strong. I'm so proud when she agreed to be the chair of our Senate campaign. Yvette Lewis, thank you very much. And to all of my colleagues, whether they're in local government or state government, it takes a team effort because the people of our counties, the people of our state, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to them whether the change is happening from someone at the local level or the state level or the federal level. We all need to work together because at the end of the day, what matters to everybody is that our constituents are well treated and well taken care of. So thank you all very much for being here. I'm also very, very pleased to be here with my wonderful family. My wife, Catherine, who's been a partner in life. And I'll tell you, campaigns are a family affair. So I want to thank Catherine and Anna and Nicholas and Alex and my sisters and cousins who are all coming to the state of Maryland. I want to thank all of them. And to all of you at the end of the day, you are what makes this democracy work. It can be incredibly frustrating sometimes. I know that. I've been on Capitol Hill for the last couple of years with the Tea Party Republicans. But all the change that I've seen during my political life has come about because of a grassroots movement. People like everybody gathered here who were fighting for their values and priorities and making sure that they had people at the county level or the state level or the federal level who were listening. And when they weren't getting the results that we need in this county or state, they work to change that. So thank you to all of you, our grassroots volunteers, all of you on the phones, all of you knocking on doors, because you are the lifeblood of the Democratic Party and, in fact, of the United States of America. So thank you very, very much. Are you fired up? Ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go? Now, I wanted to say that because it was such a privilege for me when President Obama was first elected to work with him as part of a Democratic majority of the United States House of Representatives and Senate to really get some important things done. People forget that when President Obama was first elected, when he put his hand on the Bible and was sworn in that day, the economy was falling fast. We were losing 700,000 jobs every month in the United States of America. And we passed the economic recovery bill, got the economy back on its feet, and it's been coming back ever since. Now, we know we got a long way to go to get wages and benefits up, but it is good to see jobs increasing steadily. And we work together. After all of us were stuck because of gambling on Wall Street, we passed the Wall Street Reform Bill to make sure that never again would gambling on Wall Street be paid for by the American people. Now, we also know we got a lot more work to do, but let me tell you, every day, the Republicans are trying to roll back the clock. And, of course, we worked to pass the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, providing health care to 18 million Americans. So we did a lot of good work. So when you get frustrated with everything that's going on, just remember it wasn't that long ago that we were able to move things forward. Now, I've spent the last couple years as the senior Democrat on the Budget Committee trying to stop bad stuff from happening. Trying to stop the Tea Party Republicans from cutting Social Security and Medicare, from cutting education, from putting in place their crazy theory of trickle-down economics, which didn't do a thing to raise incomes other than the folks who were already at the top. So I'm tired of simply stopping bad stuff. We need to get back in the business of doing good stuff. And President Obama has used his executive authority to do lots of important stuff, but he would be the first to say that we need a Congress that can work with the next president. So, yes, we need to elect a Democrat to President of the United States in this election, 2016, and we're going to do that. But my goodness, we also need a Democratic majority in the United States Senate. Are we going to do that? And that begins right here in Maryland, because there is no political math that says the Democrats will take back the United States Senate without winning right here in Maryland, getting every vote from this area in Prince George's County, in the Baltimore area, Western Maryland, the Eastern Shore, and the momentum to build for the general begins tomorrow, Tuesday. Are we going to do it? And we got to do it because we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, as we were saying, to make sure that every child in every neighborhood in Maryland and across this country has the very best start in life. Whether they live in East Baltimore or the Eastern Shore, West Baltimore, Western Maryland, Washington suburbs, no matter where they are, we got a lot of work to do to make sure we're true to the promise of equal opportunity in the United States of America. We got to fight hard to do that. We need to work hard to make sure we have an economy that works for everybody, not just the folks at the very top. And we need to work hard to end the scourge of gun violence and the scandal of mass incarceration. We got to stop treating nonviolent substance abuse as a criminal matter and start dealing with it as a healthcare matter. And we need to address climate change and so many urgent issues. And in order to get there, we need to not only win the White House, but we need to win that Democratic majority in the United States Senate. So, are you fired up? Are you ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go? All right, here's the last thing I'm going to say. I'm going to ask each and every one of you to do one more practical thing tonight. I want each of you to go home. I want each of you to email to all your friends and colleagues a simple message. Remember to vote tomorrow, and remember to vote Van Hollen for Senate. And I also want to ask you to get out there on Facebook and Twitter and tell everybody the same thing. Are we going to do this? Are you fired up? Ready to go? Well, then let's get going. Let's go win this thing. And I want to say the very last thing I want to say. I know. They tell me how to get it. But I want to say, because this is a lesson about what a difference each of you makes. When I was the chairman of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and my campaign's already heard this, I remember 2 elections in the year 2006. One was a fellow from Connecticut. His name was Joe Courtney. He's currently a member of the United States Congress. We jokingly call him Landslide Joe. He won a U.S. congressional seat by 84 votes. That same year, there was another candidate by the name of Larry Kissel. Larry Kissel came from North Carolina, Democrat. Larry Kissel lost by 156 votes. So I just want to say to all of you, don't let anybody tell you that last phone call and that last door knock and that last email and that last Facebook or Twitter post, don't let anyone tell you it doesn't make a difference, because this will be a close election and every one of you counts. So are you fired up? Yeah. Let's go.